Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the December 10th. That was the minutes. The December 10th meeting of the East Hempfield Township Planning Commission. Please join me in opening the meeting with the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's not on the agenda here, but I think before we go any further, we need to resolve a departure from our commission. Well, I think we should do it because it might affect who votes this evening. So, Mr. Caldas has been selected to join the zoning hearing board, and we congratulate you on that, Dan. And on behalf of the board members here and not here, we want to thank you for all of your contributions and your service to the commission. We've really appreciated your input. And I wish you well in your new job.
And keep in touch.
So with Dan's departure, we do have an opening this evening. We only have 4 members here. So I would ask Mr. Spangler to be a voting member this evening. We also have Ms. Reidenbach on Zoom. So Stacy, you're welcome to contribute, of course, with questions and comments.
For correction, the board did appoint John as a regular member.
He's already appointed.
I didn't get that memo.
Yep.
Okay, congratulations, Mr. Spangler. Welcome to the board. You're no longer
Thanks. Sorry, my hand's cold.
a voting alternate.
Cold hands, warm
You are
heart.
a regular. Okay.
So I need to do better next time.
Well, yeah.
No,
They say somebody's always the last to know, but
So we have 5 regulars.
we got all 5 regulars then. Okay. Okay, so the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting, which was way back in September 10th. Are there any questions, comments, or additions?
Mr. Chairman, I think the minutes reflect our meeting. I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
second.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Rohr, seconded by Mrs. Byrne, that we approve the minutes of September 10th meeting as submitted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, so that would be unanimous then, 5-0. All right, the action items for this evening, there are 2 of them. First one is Hess Auction Storage Building waiver preliminary plan, but it's just a sketch plan at this point.
Correct. Yep. Evening, Steve Gergley with Harbor Engineering. Yeah, this is a 7.4 acre property. It's on the west side of Greystone Road, right across the intersection where Lidditz Road tees into Greystone, right by the Roots auction. Just to the north of it, 2 properties to the north is owned by the same landowner, Conestoga Land Management. It's Hess Auctions. They operate out of the building just to the north. And Mr. Hess would like to build a storage building to kind of complement that business on this lot. So it's about a 9,600 square foot building just for storage. Won't have any day-to-day employees. It'll just be folks running back and forth. Most of the parking on the site, in fact, almost all the parking except for really the handicap space and one other space, will be used for like trailer parking for his business. So it's really pretty low impact use in that regard. Because Greystone Road is a state road, we have applied for a highway occupancy permit for that driveway, and that all aligned with Lidditz Road, the intersection. At this time, we don't need any water or sewer for this facility. There's no restrooms proposed for this type of a use. It's really just storage. And that's really about it. It's a pretty straightforward plan. We actually got ahead of our skis a little bit. I made a rookie mistake and I submitted the land development plan before submitting the sketch plan. And Nate politely reminded me I needed to do this step first. So we got a review letter also from DMA, and we'll address comments and hopefully be back in a month or so to talk about the land development plan. But this is really just to present the sketch plan and ask for the modification of preliminary plan processing.
Just curious, the page before that shows the adjoining properties. Looks like it's like a flag lot in there, just to the north of you, so it's not really adjoining the property
No,
to
it's
the
not
north.
directly adjoining. It's a flag lot. It's the folks that own the Junction Center. They own two
The
properties.
JTL radio,
Yeah, JTL Radio.
their property actually comes the whole way over and has a little tiny piece that comes out to the road there.
That's what I'm wondering, is it,
Yeah.
so, I don't know.
Otherwise, we
Just
might
curious,
consider
but
joining the lots, but it really, they're separated, so we can't do that.
I didn't know that either until I saw it and then I checked.
did you? Okay.
So,
And then the other encumbrance on this property, there's a Buckeye gas easement that goes,
Yeah.
so we're staying away from that, but that affects a portion of the property. And then everything to the south and to the west is zoned agriculture.
so there's a lot of trailers sitting on his existing lot. Would they move over to
Yeah.
this is the intent? Okay. That'll be good. And when I looked at it a couple times on that other view, I think it's really important to make sure we line up with that Lidditz Road
Yeah.
intersection.
Yep.
So your center line will line up with the center line of the driveway.
Yes, yeah, and
Okay.
we've gone through the scoping application process and actually submitted the HOP plans, and I think we're in the comment phase now, so, but yeah, PennDOT also is insisting on aligning that.
Okay, yeah, because I think that intersection's got rounded over the years. It's moved a little bit.
Oh, yeah, probably so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That'll be the best.
So just kind of curious, no toilets or water, but
How many
we
need
have
for that?
porta potties or what?
I don't
What are you
think so,
doing?
because his regular office is just right up, just a couple of
Oh,
couple yards
okay.
away, so
So-
that's.
so that's where they
we-
would
we
go.
worked out
Okay.
of. This is really just
Gotcha.
storage.
Any questions from you, Stacy? You're on mute.
No, it seems pretty straightforward, but thank you for asking.
Okay. Does anybody in the audience have any comments or questions about this plan? Okay, ready for a motion on the waiver of preliminary plan.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. We recommend to the supervisors waiver of the preliminary plan for the Hess Auction Storage Building project, subject to staff and engineer comments.
I'll second. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Rohr, seconded by Mr. Spangler, that we recommend approval of the waiver of preliminary plan for the Hess Auction Storage Building, subject to staff and engineer comments. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? So that would be unanimous as well.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. The next item is the 200 Running Pump Road Stormwater Management Plan Waiver and Modifications.
Yep.
You're up for that
Me
one
again,
too.
yeah. So this is 200 Running Pump Road. It's the RCW racket sports athletic complex. It's
Hmm.
like 6.5 acres for indoor facility and then a couple of outdoor courts. And what this project is for is there's padel courts on the eastern side of the property as you come in. And what our client is proposing to do is put a retractable roof over the padel court. When the padel courts went in, it wasn't considered impervious surface to warrant stormwater management. I'm not sure exactly why that was, but with the roof area, it does require a stormwater management plan. So that's what we've done. It's basically just an infiltration bed on the north side of the padel courts that'll just handle the additional runoff from the retractable roof. And so the roof is kind of cool. It kind of like slide back and then they'll just be able to like pull it like manually and just cover the courts when you.
And play under the covering or?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it-
it's pretty high. And so
Okay.
that's actually where we had this plan submitted back in the spring and had it basically through the process. And then there's some miscommunication between our client and the constructor about how tall it was going to be. We actually found out it was going to be higher than what the zoning ordinance permitted for building height, which is 35 feet.
Hmm.
So then we started looking at it and we'll be coming in actually soon with another plan for this property. He's actually has designs to expand the indoor facility as well, and like have a large pickleball center, basically, double the size of the building. So we recently went through the process to have the property rezoned from residential to enterprise.
Right.
that increases the lot coverage. It allows the use by right. It allows higher lot coverage or higher building heights and things like that. So that'll be the next phase of this project. But he would like to get started with the Bedell Court roof sooner than later. And then we'll work our way through the land development plan probably this spring for the following plan.
So how many square feet is this roof?
5,600, something like that. It's not much.
Okay, but our trigger is what, 8,000?
Say it again?
What triggers the stormwater? What level of impervious? 1,000, 2,000, 5,000? What is?
Anything over, well, it kind of depends if he's using any exemption or whatnot. One or another, stormwater does need to be accounted for. They usually have an exemption up to 1,000 square feet and then
1,000
can do a small project up to 5,000.
Okay, yeah, I thought there were limits there. Okay.
Do we have an idea of how much rainwater would actually roll off? That,
Say that again?
do we have an idea of how much rainwater would actually fall off of the roof? If it's gonna be kind of flat, or is it gonna be at an angle? What are you?
It'll be at an angle. And what we've done then is, so there's no gutters on the roof itself. So we set up inlets on either side, like catch basins on either side. So the water will fall off into those catch basins on the east and west sides. And then they'll convey that into the infiltration bed. And I don't know that number off the top of my head, but we calculated that down to the cubic foot of what that infiltration bed had to be to manage a 100-year storm event from that contributing area.
The 100-year storm that happens every 10 years.
Yes. And with this plan, we're asking for one modification, and that's for the loading ratios. I know you've heard this pitch before, but your ordinance requires a 5-to-1 total and a 3-to-1 loading ratio for impervious and total areas. And we're just over that. We're 3.5-to-1 impervious and 6.2-to-1 total. So it's not a large overage, and that's being recommended for approval by DMA.
Without our engineer here, I'll ask you, why are those limits set in the first place? And why can you go beyond them or under them, whichever way you want to look at it, and still be okay?
Josh probably has an opinion on this too, but like when the DEP adopted they call it the BMP manual, I don't know, it was like 10 or 15 years ago or something like that. They kind of set these, for whatever reason, they set these, they're arbitrary or not, but I think they just said, okay, these are the loading ratios that we recommend in karst areas and in non-karst areas. But it's very generalized. So because every single project we do, we go out with a geologist or a geotechnical engineer, and we do testing, and we do check the infiltration rates, and we analyze the risk for sinkholes. And so every project we do is like unique. And I think those ratios are, arbitrary at best, but it's very rare that we actually meet them. Sometimes we will in very small projects, but a lot of times if you truly hold to that, especially for bigger projects, you're talking about very, very large areas that have to be the surface areas of these BMPs. It's not just the depth. It's not a matter of going deeper. And I think the intent is to try to spread the water out so you're not like doing these like 5 or 6 or 8 foot deep infiltration beds and things like that, which could lead to sinkholes and things like that. So what we do is we go out, we do infiltration testing, we figure out where the limiting zone is, and the limiting zone is usually either bedrock or a high water table, and then you have to be 2 feet above that, and then you design the facility like for the appropriate conditions. But
And all that data and analysis was given to the engineer, and that's why he's recommending.
And we also have our geologist, he'll comment on it in his report as part of our report that says, I'm aware of these loading ratios and I don't have concerns. And sometimes, if there's a higher incidence of potential sinkholes, or if you're really close to a lot of infrastructure or something like that, they might recommend that you don't do that. So we've had those instances also, but in this case, yeah, it's a pretty straightforward request. Could we make this facility bigger? I guess, but it just takes up more land area.
Takes up more space.
It's really not necessary.
This ends up being a fairly typical ask. If you look back at past
Yeah.
projects, it comes up a lot.
Yeah,
The
I know,
number
and
is arbitrary and
when some of the ordinances were redone, we said, let's look at the things that we're given variances for all the time and change them if they're not really.
and that's because the ordinance is based off of DEP.
So we don't have authority to change that at this point,
You can.
or we put that on our list for next go around.
Well,
They set the standard.
They set the standard. I mean, we can, it takes some work, but there'll be a new ordinance coming out here in the next couple of years anyway.
As far as lighting with the covering
is the lighting aspects changing for the neighboring residents?
I don't think so, because I don't think
You
he has
being
any
me.
lights proposed inside. And then also as part of the project, we had to do the landscape buffer to the south because that's a zoning ordinance requirement. So even though this is a stormwater plan, we're adding the landscaping on the south side.
Okay, once again, Stacy, any questions or comments?
Yes, actually, I do have a question. I
Okay.
know this is a stormwater plan and we don't typically talk about traffic at this point, but knowing that this is sort of one of those up and coming sports that's going to be pretty popular. And I don't think there's a lot of places to do this in Lancaster County other than this. Is there any sort of estimate of what kind of traffic this is going to contribute? Knowing that these games aren't like 5-hour games or anything like that, but it could be a number of smaller trips.
I think for this particular project, I don't know if there's any measurable increase because it's just putting a roof over an existing court. But when we come in for the next phase, we will have to discuss traffic and look at that. And I know our client in this case like has events. It's a very successful business. He's really kind of turned the place around. But people park in the grass, for example. So one of the things we're going to do is increase the parking pretty dramatically with the next phase. But as part of the land development project coming forward, we're going to have to look at the trips that are going to be estimated to come from what's existing there now, plus the expansion that we're going to be proposing. But again, not part of this project specifically, but
The
It's
Padel courts have been in for what, 2 years now?
Padel Court's been in for 2 years. Yeah, and we're not increasing the capacity of the courts other than just to put a roof on them in this case.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, ready for two motions here? Oh, I'm sorry. Does anybody in the audience have any questions or comments? Yes, and please sign in so we know who was here.
Helps the people on Zoom be able to hear you.
Yeah.
Questions. I'm Bob Johnson, Stevens Street. And so that's a picture of 2 courts, or is that just 1 court? Okay. And generally just 2 people play that at a time typically, is that right? Or is it like?
Not a Padel expert.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 'Cause I
Yeah,
don't
they
think
do.
those-
They do. I live right by there. I see it. It's 2-on-2 most of the
Oh,
time.
really?
Yeah.
All right. And then you had mentioned the next phase of the project. Did you say it's expanding the number of tennis courts in the big building there?
The expansion is going to be actually.
Oh, okay. All right. So there will, okay. So the building will be expanded and it will be pickleball. All right. Thank you. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Once again, any questions or comments? Nope. Ready for motions. Need the modifications. Modification request number 1, yeah.
Modification.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to recommend approval of modification request number 1 for the Running Pump Road Stormwater Management Plan Project, subject to all staff and engineering comments.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Spangler, second by Mrs. Byrne, that we recommend approval of the modification, request number 1 for the 200 Running Pump Road Stormwater Management Plan, subject to staff and engineer comments. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, that would be unanimous as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go, huh?
Anything else?
Is that it? So just the modification, not the plan, right?
Correct.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it then.
Okay,
I'm done. Yep, thanks.
If you didn't have the modification, you wouldn't have come to this or the board.
okay, thank you. All right, was there any old business anybody would like to bring up? How about questions about Nate's December project report?
It's fairly light.
I know, there's one thing that wasn't there, and maybe I've missed it on prior months' reports that we didn't get. But what's the status of the zoning, hearing out on Colebrook Apartments, I'll call it. Is that the right word?
I don't
Colebrook?
believe, I believe that was on the November report you didn't get.
We don't get them
Um,
unless they're attached to
The
the,
board did settle. They, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I can get it to you, but it's, I believe, 4 buildings, 206 units they can build. And we should be seeing that here and probably in spring, at least start of it.
okay.
And new road.
They will be realigning Old
Be able
Warstown
to-
Road.
Was that, I'm gonna say, was
It'll
that
be
in any way
similar-
part of the approval process that they had to do that or?
Yes, that, the approval was conditioned on that.
Okay,
It'll be similar to, right now at least, to what you would have seen in the planning group where they moved the church's parking lot and line it up generally where the church entrance is.
Yeah.
And then,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's
And then block off the other road.
block it off and demolish that entrance, the old entrance.
Yeah.
So people have to go up and then come
Up
over.
around, come back to those first two houses or those. The people in the houses on
Yeah.
existing will have to go in and come back up.
I think there's 3 or 4 properties that,
Okay.
you know, they'll have to just go around.
Yeah. Plus the townhouses that were built down the hill there a little bit too.
Yeah, the new road will line up with Landon Way, I think.
Okay, good.
How about the lot, was that a lot add-on or subdivision at the Evergreen Golf Course? Did that?
They have a number of zoning concerns to work through, so it's
Okay.
just, they've had several time extensions. They're still working through it
Okay. So that'll come here at some point then.
eventually, yes.
Yeah.
Question, not from something that was on your project report, but I can't keep it straight about when buffering is required and when it's not, especially with enterprise zone or commercial
And we
zone.
changed it recently, so,
Well, my question is on Good Drive,
okay.
Stoffers, they cut down all their trees and bushes along the building. So there's nothing between Good Drive and their building. And I wonder, are they required to keep it up or just put it in the beginning and then let it go?
They, I can give you a definitive answer when I scour through my emails, but they did work with us to come up with an alternative to what they had. What they had was more than what they needed, so we found some form of compromise. They should be putting something else.
So
in.
there is something in
Yeah.
plans for probably spring to
I
replace
think
there.
it's fencing and planting, but not those overgrown,
Yeah, I mean, obviously over the years it's gotten overgrown, but now it's naked. So I just
they
wanted
do
to
have a plan to
Okay,
remediate
good.
that.
very good.
Ugly right now.
It's, yeah, it's brick and concrete building, yeah. Yep. Okay, anything else to come before the commission? If not, meeting is adjourned. 7:27.
Have a nice Christmas, everybody.